Shout out video again. Oh my god. Shout out to Amina. Shout out to shout out to shout out to Julia for being raw. Shout out to Armand for having pretty eyes. Shout out to Brittany for being a monkey. Shout out to Corshana for being a raccoon.
Shout out to you for being a gorilla.
Shout out to shout out to the Force. Shout out to Vanderpool. Shout out to Perspectives. Shout out to Lionel Hampton. Shout out to Jakeith Anderson. We love you, baby. You sexy as hell. Shout out to Juju.
Oh.
You got that fat ass head. Shout out to Tay Tay for having a tomato head. You decent. You was ugly when I first met you. Shout out to Terry Walker, Corshana's best friend, number 1. Number 2. Can't take my slide, but you probably did. Shout out to Overdose 79 for homie. Shout out to Damien, my crush. Shout out to Tori Pinex. But shout out to Tori Williams. Shout out to Christopher for being a snitch. Snitching on everybody. Shout out to
Don't do too much, cause you know you like.
who? I don't like Christopher no more. Shout out to Krishana. I like your hug girl. Shout out
Happy
to
belated birthday, y'all.
shout out to Tanya for being a boss. Shout out to Tyrell. Shout out to Phonique. Shout out to Mr. Bright, even though I don't like him. Shout out to Mr. Anthony, my homeroom, rocking with him. Shout out to Tia for being a fun kicker and a false and Two-Faced. Shout out to I'm just keeping it real. Don't get mad. You still cool though. Shout out to Lakia. Shout out to my Facebook friends. I'm finna go through most of them. Shout out to Amati. Shout out to Amati for holding this bangle, having a bangle.
Shout out for his picture for his game.
Shout out to shout out to Mina Savage Bay, me, you know, you feel me. Shout out to Rachel, shout out to Young Tunchi, shout out to Pretty Little Light, you was funny. Shout out to TYN, she a baby. Shia. Shout out to Cheyenne, I'm going through all my friends. Shout out to Bruce Savage. Shout out to Charles Savage, that's my bang, I love him. You know, I'm just playing, that's my crush though. Shout out to my ex Michael John, Jokey Smith, I love him. And he's sexy as fuck. Shout out to Corshana. Shout out to Kid Polo World Boss Charles. Shout out to Ariel for being cool. Shout out to Love Mimi.
Shout out to TJ for being a crackhead.
Shout out for TJ being crackhead. Shout out to the famous Pinks. Shout out to Danielle Moore for being over reawakening. Shout out to Brandon Jones. We miss you. Shout out to Jack Girl Bree. You crazy and you a fucking hitter on me. Shout out to my best friend Jay Dixon. Shout out to Keisha Wilson, my cousin. Shout out to Raven Lewis, my sister. Shout out to Raphael Polk. Oh, I said his girlfriend name. Shout out to him for being my sister boyfriend. Shout out to Paige Anderson for being cool, funny. Lil Pops. Shout out to She Gorgeous. Shout out to Tyrone for being on Uru. Shout out to Malik Hollis, Swag King McCree, my ex-best friend. Shout out to Marshawn McCree, my new best friend. Shout out to Khadijah Love Hard McDowell. She cool. Shout out to Jatana Rogers. Shout out to Jamari Black Ass. Shout out to Obey Brick Bad. Shout out. Shout out to Davion also for treating Tia the way you do that you see her ass. Turn that down. Shout out to Prince D, my ex-best friend. Shout out to Julie, I think I gave you one already. Shout out to my homie Flawless Yanni. Shout out to Lenora Brown for being my future. Shout out to Lil Bobby, you will miss you at the 4. You should come back. My whole ex.
Shout out to Elijah.
Shout out to Elijah. Shout out to Obey Tori. Shout out to Shalonda, her baby Q. Shout out to Chemo. Shout out to Juju, Juicy. Who is this inbox star? Oh. Shout out to Louis Mix Pearson. Your brothers is bad at school. I call them bad. Shout out to shout out to Vate. You gonna have that extra load. You see I'm trying to do this video, you wanna. Shout out to TTU Davis. I do not like you like that. Shout out to you mad Tasia. Shout out to Savage ASX. Oh my god, Darnell, you is so phony. You don't never text me. You don't never have nothing good to talk about. Phony. Shout out to shout out to HBK. Absolute heartbreak. I saw you at the mall yesterday. Shout out to Leah. Shout out to Dante Fane. Shout out to Terrell Henry. Shout out to my brother, Montreal Wilson. I love him. Shout out to Londale Floyd. Shout out to Cookie House, my cousin. Shout out to Christopher Young. You can't shout out to you. Shout out to
what do kids do without the internet?
we don't know.
They go outside and play.
It's too cold.
No, it ain't. It's snowed enough to be able to build a snowman again. Remember the one we built on Marshfield?
Oh yeah.
I was hoping it'd snow a lot so we could build a snowman.
True.
I want to get a big one.
Shout out to Lindsay. Shout out to Famous Montana, Free Darion. Free him, boy. Dials. Shout out to Kia Jones. Shout out to Chief Tay Watson. You cool, but you just ugly. Shout out to Bobby Hanna. Happy belated birthday, G. I know you can get TTU. Shout out to Craig TTU Savage. He's so cute and small. Okay, go get where the charger at. Shout out to him. He's small. But some stuff on him big. No, I'm just playing. Shout out to Famous Sexy Savage. Yo, shout out to my ex. Shout out to Arika for my brother X. Shout out to the whole school. Shout out to this song. Shout out to them track phones. Shout out to them crickets. Shout out to them crickets. Okay, go get you trying to fall off the bed.
I swear that dope my recipe. Don't play with me, that dirty always stay with me. Fuck a 083, I'm posted where the soaps be. And I got that sack, I know you niggas heard of me. 100 shots, I'm only shooting 83. Shout out
to Shana Notification, Tyra, and all. You can't say that. Shout out to Sandra Franklin. Shout out to Sandra. I just said that. Shout out to Kushana. Thank you for twerk. Shout out to my Facebook page. Shout out to her trying to twerk. Shout out to the internet. Without you, I would be dead right now. Shout out to Baby Carl. Shout out to Tiana. Shout out to Laura. Shout out to the food up for the smash that we got from China. Shout out to that. Shout out to Wild Page. He's doing numbers. Yeah, shout out to just Jessica Renell. Shout out to everybody who said like home, and shout out to Lionel Hampton again. Shout out to Lil JoJo and Jaja. Shout out to free my nigga Keith. Fuck Reggie. We finna do our song in a minute. It's called Fuck Reggie. Cause he don't know how to rap. Okay, and we finna play his song, which he don't know how to rap. How you gonna diss some? It's like I don't get that. How you gonna diss somebody with they beat? How you gonna diss somebody with they beat? He ain't got no money to go to war, and he calling Lil J, but he don't know Lil J. So we can listen to it. I'm gonna pause it and go to every part that I disagree with. But I like half of it. It's got like a girl right here.
These bitches love Reggie. I swear
and then his thing down like this, JoJo's like this.
I be like
false like this.
Sosa. I don't know Sosa.
How you gonna do somebody with they beat?
These bitches love Reggie. These bitches love Reggie. Who the fuck is Sosa? Catch him in that Rover. We gon' flip it over.
How you gonna flip something over? How you gonna flip something over? You ain't got nothing to flip over. He ain't got nothing to flip his stuff over with. We gonna make our remix in a minute.
What? Be crazy, Bill. Too good, Bill.
What?
Boy.
Who is this?
Mama. You don't want no drama. I deep out with your mama. My niggas got them lines.
What? Shout out to Facebook.
Shout out to the tracks.
Shout out to the track glue.
I don't know what I did.
Without you,
Feel me bald head right now.
Shout out to the shout out to Palina.
Track City girl, Track City girl.
Alright, we back to the Reggie.
Hit him with that cobra. Kicking off his shoulders. My niggas is
I the next song.
We don't fuck around, boy. For JoJo with Jaja, boy, we gon' lay you down.
He stole that from he stole that from BDK Remix. Oh yeah, you're a thief. Go. You can't call somebody you don't know.
What? That's a trap.
But if you knew Lil J, his videos are in raw.
I got that AK, boy. My niggas BDK, boy. So we cracking trade.
The rest is wrong. I like the rest.
Send up to the grave. Well, my life is like a movie.
Alright, peace, y'all. I'm not doing no shout out video. Shout out to people that I didn't do to. And Brittany number is 773-494-2381. If you find it, call it, and whoever answers, call Brittany and tell her. Her number is 773-606, something.